But first, let's head to our top story, which is going to take us to Chicago, Illinois, the home of the LogRock, a new compliance company that just started and raised $3 million in seed funding, with Grace Sharkey here to tell us all about it. Grace, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Yeah, thanks, guys. It's exciting to be here. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. And we love a Friday going into a long weekend, so it's just going to be a great day. And Grace, let's talk about this a little bit, because compliance is something that you don't typically touch on. It's outside of that freight tech space, but you're no stranger to talking about funding rounds. So let's give us a little bit of insight. What's going on with LogRock?
Yeah, so LogRock is a compliance automation solutions company, and I'm really excited about these founders because they both come out of LoadSmart, which is a company I've touched on a lot. And what that means is that they've got a really great background when it comes to building startups within this space already. Two, they understand the importance of integration and quick API integrations within other systems. If you know anything about LoadSmart, that's one of the biggest keys that they focused on when building their company, is being able to integrate into anyone's systems and make that tech stack easy to implement. Three, actually, LoadSmart had acquired a trucking scheduling system. So they already had an idea of a lot of the problems that the trucking company was facing. So these two founders actually ended up talking with Camion, the scheduling systems owner, who actually owns a company called Logiflex, which is about 150 trucking company out of Illinois as well. And they said, hey, what keeps you up at night? And to be surprised, it's actually a lot to do with compliance. It's, at the end of the day, if you don't have your authority with FMCSA, you can't function as a business, right? So you want to make sure that at any point in time that your records are up to date, your drivers have clean HOS service hours, you're not out of service at any point in time, and that all of your 150 trucks in this situation are ready to go. And so the company actually, a fun fact that I just recently learned is that they actually raised this fund from Dynamo Ventures and their participating investors in January. But they wanted to make sure that their tech stack was ready to go, that they had proved the concept, and that they had actually completely helped this trucking company turn around their compliance through automation, that they waited until now to announce it through FreightWaves. And I really commend them for that. There's a lot of times where you'll see trucking or technology companies that I talk to, and they're still in beta mode or they're still building out their technology suite. But this company in particular wanted to make sure that everything was going to be ready to go for carriers, so that, it's not just talking the talk, they're actually walking the walk in this situation. So I was really excited to see that they focus on compliance. I mean, right now we're dealing with a number of small and owner operators out there with not the best quality of trucks, who are trying to find drivers and retain drivers as much as they can. And the last thing that any trucking company needs right now is to find out that one of their drivers is out of service, that they're out of service, or heaven forbid have to go in front of a jury to prove that they are running their company efficiently. So this one, while it's not a topic that I get to touch on a lot, the fact that a lot of my knowledge originally in this industry comes from truck drivers, and the spot that a lot of trucking companies are in right now when running their company and dealing with the adjustment of rates that they've seen over the last couple of months, this one actually hits a little bit more closer to home.
Grace, we're just coming off of Road Check Week, which deals more on the mechanical compliance side of things. But I want to ask if they gave any indication of choosing to make this announcement now, if that had any strategy playing into coming out of that Road Check Week. Because obviously, if you're out of mechanical compliance, chances are you're probably not in general business compliance either, right? Does their platform have anything to do with keeping track of that as well?
Yeah, so what's great, right, is they have this complete knowledge on how to integrate all systems, and then they use their algorithms and their machine learning abilities to make sure that everything is up to date. And if anything, they're proactive about a lot of the situations that drivers find themselves in, and that includes vehicle maintenance. A part of this, right, is to be able to make sure that you're building strong shipper and broker relationships as a carrier right now. And to be able to do that, you need really you need trucks on the road and trucks that work, trucks that aren't going to lead to heaven forbid, there's a broker out there probably today that's going to get a call around noon or 1 o'clock that says, hey, my truck broke down and this isn't going to get delivered until, unfortunately, over the holiday. And I think that's a big part of this too, is that you want to show that you're proactive. You want to be able to build these shipper relationships, be able to negotiate contracts, but able to do that, right? I mean, even Anthony and a lot of the Sonar people yourselves keep touching on the fact that shippers are watching compliance right now. And then part of that is going to be what type of trucks and the quality of the trucks that you're running. It's not just on-time performance, but on-time performance a lot of times comes from the fact that if your truck is starting up on time in the morning, right? So I think that's what's really cool about this, is there's so many areas that can fall into compliance, that can fall into fleet operations, that can be automated and proactively attached. It makes this technology really cool.
Grace, you're exactly right. There's so many areas that this can be applied to. Do you see that as being one of the main reasons that the compliance tool space is looking so attractive to investors right now?
Yeah, I mean, look what we just saw with Motive this last week, right? And Motive's cool because they realize it's not just a trucking company problem. You're going to have the same issue when you're looking at dealing with fleets within government maintenance, right? I mean, I can't tell you how frustrating it is when it comes wintertime that, certain roads aren't plowed. Like this can all, that's what Motive realizes. Like, it's not just trucking that needs telematics and compliance technology to make sure that all of their fleets are being managed appropriately. There's a lot of other fleets of vehicles out there that, deliver the mail, that clean our roads, that pick up trash, that go to construction sites for job sites. And I don't know if you've ever been late to a job site before, but that is not a fun time. That's a ton of fees, and a lot of people are sitting there waiting. So I think what's really great is that people are starting to realize that some of the trucking problems that we have kind of leak into other areas where there's four wheels involved, right? Or in some cases, a lot more in trucking, right? So I think it's really cool. When I saw the Motive raise and of course their new valuation, and then this coming quickly afterwards, it's a trend I think we're going to see a little bit more.
And so then let's talk a little bit about this capital infusion. What are some of the plans for LogRock now going forward after this raise?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for them is just continue to build out their engineering teams, make sure that when they're bringing on new customers that they're keeping up with that ability to integrate and get the solution into the company's organization as soon as possible through implementation. It's funny, we were talking, there were actually guests on the Sirius show last night, and we all know that's a headache when you're a tech company is how long, okay, I paid the bill on this one, how long until this thing is implemented and working? And this duo and these co-founders have that experience from LoadSmart, and have that experience even with being able to get Logiflex up and running and have their compliance 100%. So I think that's their big key is, okay, if we're going to start scaling this and taking on new customers, we need to make sure that we're keeping up with our word to get this implemented and into your operations as soon as possible.
So Grace, like my wonderful co-host here, you're also an incredibly busy woman. Let's talk about your radio show, what's coming up soon.
Yeah, so I'm excited. Today is going to be a really cool episode. Dooner's coming on, and we're gonna. I have some hot food debates since we're getting deep into this whole potato salad situation. So I figured, why not keep that rolling into the holiday where we all love to eat barbecue and enjoy those sides. So I have some interesting food debates for him today. And then in the second hour, I'm actually. I love Dooner, but this is we need to step back and start honoring our veterans, right? And in the logbook this last week, I touched on Leonard's Express, who's actually wrapping trucks and giving them out to 5 different veteran drivers in their organization. One's already been handed out. It's an Air Force wrapped truck, and that went to Keith Buchanan. So Keith is going to join me on the show along with their org development director, Tim Owens, who helped come up with this program. We're just going to talk about why veterans, love trucking. There's a lot of them that are in this space, and give some time back to Keith to talk about why he loves this Leonard's and driving for Leonard's, and also how cool this truck is. I mean, it's a really cool truck, and they've got a couple more that should be releasing, I think, this weekend as well.
I'm excited to see that because we know that veterans make up a huge part of our driver population. This weekend especially is time not only to thank them for their service in the armed forces, but to thank them for their continued service as drivers getting our goods on the road. Grace, this potato salad debate, I just saw Dooner and Vincent walk through the studio. Dooner had his potato salad with him, ready for it to hit on What the Truck this afternoon at noon. We've got to know, are you team eggs in the potato salad or team no eggs?
Well, I will tell you, I am going to be on What the Truck today, and I also am bringing my own potato salad where I will try it on air to prove everyone, because I was dramatically tried to pick both sides earlier this week. I will say I'm no eggs. And right now, but maybe when I try both together, my opinion will switch. We will see.
I think I might be team eggs.
I'm also team eggs.
Okay.
I'm team eggs, but I will also say I'm also definitely team like red potato salad with like a dill sauce on it, make it a little different, a little spicy, but no eggs in that one. Only eggs in yellow potato salad.
We can't get started on the chili debate here from New Mexico, but that's for another time. But Grace, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We'll be looking forward to it.
Thanks, guys. Have a good morning.
You can catch her this afternoon on What the Truck at noon and on Drive Time Radio from 5 to 7 on Sirius XM Channel 146, the Road Dog Network. Right now, we're going to toss it over to the wall. We've got our first carrier update of the morning this morning from Donnie and Tony.